week on Quality Digest Live, we speak with Alexander Allain of ETQ about integrating post-market feedback with quality management. And we take a closer look at this year's Coordinate Metrology Systems Conference and the Metrology Certification Program. All that and more when we come back.
Today's sponsor of Quality Digest Live is Western Gauge Corporation, the dimensional gauging specialist.
Welcome back to Quality Digest Live for July 25th, 2014. QDL is your weekly look at who and what is making the news in the world of quality. I'm Dirk Ducharme, Editor-in-Chief of Quality Digest. Mike Richman, our intrepid publisher, is on a well-deserved vacation. Well, Mike and I just returned from the Coordinate Metrology Systems Conference. That's the CMSC in North Charleston, South Carolina. For those of you not familiar with the show, we are the media partner for that, and it is the only show in North America that focuses on large-scale 3D metrology, 3D measurement. This is the type of equipment and supporting software and hardware that is typically used to measure automobiles, ships, aircraft, inside buildings, outside buildings, historical stuff, that type of thing. They make smaller parts as well, but usually still within those industries. So we're talking things like laser scanners, photogrammetry, structured light, laser trackers, laser radar, and so forth. In this following video clip, Quality Digest publisher Mike Richman, my compadre, talks to Ron Rode and Ron Hicks of the CMSC about the CMSC, what it is, what it means for attendees, and a lot more. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Mike Richman, and I'm here at CMSC 2014, the 30th anniversary CMSC, and I'm joined by the incoming and outgoing chair of the Coordinate Metrology Society, the current chair, Ron Hicks, and the incoming chair, Ron Rode. And we're going to talk today a little bit about what's going on here at the CMSC 2014 and some things that we're seeing here at the show. So, Ron Hicks, let me start with you. Now, this is the 30th anniversary, and both of you guys actually have been involved in the organization for a lot of that time. So, what have you seen that's changed, and what have you seen that stayed the same over that period of time?
I think the same thing is the level of people that you're getting. I think everyone is always clamoring to find out more, what's improved, what can we do, what can we take back to our jobs that will help us, that type of thing. The thing that's changed so much, in my view, or all the technology. The technology is just skyrocketing. I mean, it's amazing to see what some of these OEMs have done, the software developers. So, been really impressed with that.
And Rod, what do you think of that?
Some of the things along the same line is the same people keep coming back. It's so important because they realize that this is where they're going to take something back, and they work to get here because they know it's important. The changes. If you look back to 5 years, then 10 years, and 15 years, the cycle is it's gone up like a bell curve, and it's not stopping. So it's going to be very interesting to see in the next 5 years where the technology is going, and that's kind of the exciting part because we're touching on things that we only thought about 10 years ago. We didn't think possible, but with the computers and the graphics and everything else, it's just a very exciting time. It's a very exciting time.
Now, this is a society, as we know, that's made up of users and it's made up of vendors. Now, you guys have both been on both sides of that equation in your career. So, Ron Hicks, first, what do you think of that? I mean, what do you think about the benefits? What do the vendors get out of being part of the Coordinate Metrology Society and users as well?
I think everybody comes here feels like part of the family. It's a family atmosphere. It's a smaller conference. Networking is extremely important in this conference, and we think if we can build off everybody's knowledge, broad knowledge, it helps our industry so much. So I just think the knowledge base is critical to that. So we just need to keep doing that. It's key.
And Ron, what do you think?
It's like a transfer of knowledge. The exhibitors come here not only to, yes, they want to sell some things, but they're also wanting to know, what do you guys want? What do you need? What do we have to do in order to change the game to get your business so it becomes competitive? And we all know what competition does. Everybody strives to get one step ahead. The other guy's there, the other guy's there. So it's a very good on that aspect, and the people are coming. they're coming to see who's got what's new, and you can see them all in one room. So you've got a great area to get in, see what's out there, compare one right next to the other. And it's a very, very slim time if you ever get a chance to do that.
And the industry benefits overall, of course.
Everybody. It's a win-win for everybody in this situation, by all means. Sure.
Now, right back here, we have the measurement zone here at the show, and this ties in and connects with what's going on in terms of the certification committee, which is a really important undertaking of the Coordinated Metrology Society over the past couple of years, past several years, in fact. And upstairs right now, over the next couple of days, we're going to be having the device-specific assessments, I believe, is the phrase. So, how does this connect with what that's about, and what's the certification committee going on about, especially with regard to the level 2 certification?
Well, as you know, we've talked about this, the level 1 is still going on, where we are actually providing testing to applicants to just get a general understanding of their knowledge of metrology. And plus there's some other components. People have to vouch for you that you're a metrologist. The level 2 certification is more of using the portable coordinate measurement machines, the ARMs, if you will. And they're actually measuring a part, making sure that they can measure it accurately, compare it to our design, and if they can do so successfully, we're going to basically say they're certified to do so. So it's a very rigorous test, and we feel, the CMSC feels that if they can do that, they're a great operator. So the measurement zone, I think, is an offshoot from certification in that we have certain zones. For instance, the laser tracker competitions. Everybody gets excited with competitions. I'm going to go win, right? So this is showing the same skills that we would need for the certification. We also have e-learning, and these are all just key to what CMS is all about.
Ron, what do you see with that, with the certification committee, the work that they've done, and moving on now to the level 2 certification?
Actually, certification was driven by the industry to us, saying we need something to ensure that who we're getting knows what they're doing. I mean, it's still an industry in infancy, but with all this equipment, the high tech of all that, and the understanding of how to apply it. That's what's so key and critical, because anybody can run one, but can they understand it and apply it? That is so key. And with the level 1 and level 2 cert, if you can pass those, you've obviously had spent some time with it, and you know what you're doing with that. And that's what the person that brings you in and says, oh, I see you're certified. I get a little warm, fuzzy feeling that, hey, this guy knows what he's doing, and I'm going to get data that I can count on, and that's so critical.
It's a starting point.
Yep.
Well, Ron Rode, what was really heartening to me this morning at the opening plenary was when we asked, which we always do, how many people are here for the first time at CMSC. We had a lot of hands go up, about 130 almost people who are new to the show this year, and it ties in with the certification work, because we do have a graying workforce, as we know, and we need to make sure that new people that are coming in know what they're doing and are able to do that. So how would you summarize the value proposition of the CMSC for a newbie, somebody who really is coming into the industry and wants to get into this as a career?
Well, there is actually a great difference between the younger set and us that have been with it since its infancy, and there's a big step there. And so the younger ones coming in, what they've got is the knowledge base of people have been doing it for 15, 20, 30 years, and have started with the most basic of instruments, plumb bobs and oil, optical standards, theodolites. Like, we've seen it all. We have a great understanding of how everything gets applied together. They don't, but by being here and being able to talk to us, now they can start to understand it's not just a magic box there that spits out numbers. It really has a function, and it gives them a better understanding of how to apply it, why, when, what to use, and a whole lot of maybe gray matter that they really didn't know existed out there. So it's a big learning curve for them, and I think a lot of them come away thinking, hey, these old guys really do know something.
Absolutely. Well, great. Well, that's a great way to leave it. We've been here today with Ron Hicks, current chairperson of the Coordinated Metrology Society, and incoming chair Ron Rode. We're here at the 30th anniversary CMSC. Congratulations to both of you and the organization for 30 years. It's been amazing, the things we've seen in 30 years in this industry. So thanks, guys, for joining me. And that's it from Coordinated Metrology Society 2014 here in North Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, that was publisher Mike Richman talking to Ron Rode and Ron Hicks at the CMSC show. It's a great show. I mean, if you're in any way involved in large-scale 3D metrology, this really is the show to go to. It's not just vendors. I mean, obviously they're there for the usual reasons, but the presentations, the white papers and so forth, that are really application-driven. How this type of equipment is used to solve real-world problems. That in itself is worth the price of admission. So if you're interested in large-scale 3D metrology, going to the show, you can just go to cmsc.org, cmsc.org. Okay, well, moving on. We've talked many times on this show about the problem of operational and data silos. This is, the problems that occur when individual departments or functions operate somewhat separately from other departments or functions. And the fact is, as we move through our operations, we need tools to help us gain visibility into what other departments or even the entire company or even our suppliers are doing. Without having this visibility into processes and connecting one process to the next, we really run the risk of getting into a lot of trouble. We're talking things like missed deadlines, bad decisions, maybe damage to the brand or customer loyalty. Well, according to our next guest, it's all part of staying in control, seeing what's coming up, and being able to navigate effectively. Alexander Allain is the Life Science Product Manager for ETQ Incorporated and the author of one of this week's articles, Integrating Post-Market Feedback with Quality Management, Visibility and Control Improves Customer Satisfaction. And Alexander is with us this morning via Skype. Good morning, Alexander.
Hi, Dirk. Good morning.
Hey, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
Oh, terrific.
How about you?
Oh, we're doing good out here. It's a little toasty, but that's okay. It's Northern California in the middle of summer. Alexander, most of us understand that silos are bad, and we have talked about this a lot in the past. My question for you, before we get into any kind of technology questions, is why do silos even exist?
Yes, I think, overall, it's all part of, the legacy and a lot of time lack of collaborative approach, within company. Also, it's also overall, company and management not looking at the big picture. And as I said, a lot of time it starts from legacy. I mean, long time ago, years ago, companies started to move from paper system to paper process to go into move to technology, put their processes in system. So they all look at that by they started sometimes just with a little piece within their own department or with just few process, and they build on it, and with time they had a new system, and sometimes without talking about what's available. So we find in company, you go in company and there's all those little systems, one specific system for their ANSI, one for their CAPA, or one for complaint, and this is only looking at the quality department. Then you have production, finance, and so you start adding all those little systems, and at one point it's very difficult to move away from that. The one big thing also, as I said, it's looking at the big picture. When the journey started, company were not looking at the big picture, and now we see that more and more, where company are now stuck with all those systems, all those processes in different I would say application silo basically, where yes, company use technology, but it's not integrated. It's all those application silos, and it's very difficult to manage it, and it's very difficult to get visibility on data and have good data. However, we see more and more company now think about that and now starting to look at the big picture and to remove those silos. And that's where it becomes. Yeah.
Let me jump in on that. Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, so you've said that a lot of these people have they've already invested perhaps a lot of money and manpower and so forth into tools that may be one department has one tool, another department has another tool, one division has a third tool. How do you convince people to change tools that are going to break down these silos? And in other words, they've already made this investment. What argument are you going to make to them that maybe this isn't a good idea and that they have to use some new technology that's either going to tie all these together or so forth? I mean, how do you get past that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's always difficult because you have all those investments that were made, and now you say, well, how can we break that? And I think overall, I mean, you have to look into the benefit, and it's definitely one thing I touch in my article, and definitely one thing we'll talk about next week during the webinar with Kimberly Clark is what are the benefits. I mean, that's where you need to start because you don't make changes, you don't invest money if there's no benefit. And you talked a little bit at the beginning about it, and I mean, for me, I think that the greatest thing is definitely visibility and having control on the data. You don't want to have duplicate data in different systems. You want to be able also to look at a central place for your data. So you want to be able to make a good business decision, and this will occur if you have reliable data and if you have data that you have confidence in. And this also, I mean, will bring all the aspect of reporting, trending. If you start to put everything in one place, it's a lot easier to find the data and trend on it. I mean, for example, if you're looking for a complaint, sometimes you want to know more, not just the complaint. I mean, okay, I have a complaint. What did we do about it? So you want linkage to a corrective action. And within your corrective action, okay, how do we manage that? You could have linkage with change requests, with non-conformance. And, I'm a big dreamer, so we even go further where, with some, company, we implemented linkage with their SAP system. So basically, you have the full, traceability of, I received one complaint and, what was done to fix that and what action did we take. And this is where, when we talk about benefit, this is where I think when you look into that and when you start using that, and as I said, Kimberly Clark next week will talk about it, that's where you see that you're able to break the silos and that you're able to see all those benefits, as I said.
And one of the things that we are going to be, you've alluded to it already, we've got a webinar with you guys next week, the 29th. As the title of your article says, how you're integrating this information, this post-market information, so customer feedback, that sort of stuff, how you're going to integrate that into your quality management system, and ideally across all of these silos, right, so that everybody has access to the same information.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's the key, I think, and as I said, I mean, it's not. We know it's not something easy. Breaking those silos, it requires a lot of planning, a lot of change in your company mentality. And if we talk about it, I mean, you need a lot of you need management to buy into it. That's for sure, because you will need a big push. I mean, to integrate all of those stuff, and we've seen, I mean, with legacy system, I think now, I mean, the new technology, the new software, definitely are more fit into doing those integration and breaking those silos.
Right, and I think we'll get into that a little bit more. I'm sure there attendees of the webinar next week are going to have a lot of questions kind of related to this integration, kind of the technical side of it, and I'm sure people are going to have some questions about what kind of information do you give management to get management buy-in? So I'm going to have to cut us off right here, Alexander. We do have, as Alexander pointed out, there is a webinar next week, the 29th, at 11 o'clock Pacific. There is a link on his article. If you follow the article page, the article link underneath the player, that'll take you out to the article. On that page, there's a link to sign up for the webinar on how all of this is going to work from a technology point of view. And it's a webinar, obviously, so you can ask questions of Alexander and kind of get to the root of how you're going to sell this to management, as well as kind of what the benefits of all of this are. So, Alexander, thanks for joining us, and hey, we'll see you on the 29th.
Well, thanks for having me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Alexander.
Bye.
That was Alexander Alain of ETQ Incorporated. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, Mike and I were at the CMSC this week, and obviously there's a lot of cool technologies here, and each year we get to meet up with companies that have been with the CMSC for 30 years, as well as some brand new companies. In this next video segment, you'll see a short clip of a visit I had with a couple of these companies at the show, and also get a bit more information on the measurement zone, which is the data gathering and educational core of CMSC's metrology certification program. A part of what the CMSC has been doing for the last few years is developing a certification program that assesses and certifies 3D measurement personnel. The goal is to offer for the first time a certificate that shows that a person has demonstrated proficiency in both metrology knowledge and practical hands-on skills in 3D measurement. So let's take a look. Okay, so we're here right now with Arnaud Dumont of DimEye, a California-based technology company. This is their first time at the CMSC show. Arnaud, what is your product? And tell us a little bit about your company.
So DimEye is a high-tech company based in California, and we are specialized in photogrammetry and laser technology for 3D measurement.
Okay, and you got a couple products I see on your table here.
Yeah, since we've done a lot of business in the oil and gas industry, we've done a lot of measurement underwater, and we have developed a new concept called VLS, for video laser scan. And basically it's a combination of photogrammetry and laser technology. So we just fly with this kind of equipment underwater. So you have a camera here and a laser here, and we can recreate the 3D CAD model of almost everything, or create a point cloud also.
Okay, and that's underwater. You have one above water also as well.
Yeah, this it happens to be a kind of universal tool. So now we can fly with a drone. The idea is the same. We have a camera here and a laser here. So we just fly around or above the object, and we can recreate the 3D CAD model or generate a point cloud.
Okay, and this would be for examining transmission lines, that sort of thing?
Any kind of large equipment, whether it's a refinery, an aircraft, large objects mainly.
Okay. Well, Arnaud, thank you for letting us come into your booth.
Thank you.
And again, DimEye, California-based.
Yes, and we also have an office in Houston,
And what
Texas.
were the name of these products, by the way?
This is the VLS for video laser scan.
Okay. Arnaud, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now, as we said that DimEye has been, this is their first time at the CMSC show. So now what we want to do is go and visit a company who has been at CMSC since the very beginning. For 30 years, CMSC is 30 years old. And now we're going to go to GSI Incorporated. They're a photogrammetry company for measuring very large scale objects, aircraft and that sort of thing, antennas. And here to tell us a little bit about GSI and show us one of their products is John Brown, president of GSI. President, right? Do I have that right?
President.
And it's John Brown, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about GSI and the product that we're going to see today.
Okay, well, what we're showing here is our large volume dot measurement system, which measures very large volumes very quickly. And what we've got back here, just for a little fun and to show how we can measure, is we've got a life-size cut-up of Johnny Depp. And he's a rather two-dimensional character, so we also want to show that we measure 3D. So if you could just step in there for me real quickly, Dirk, and be a model.
So I'll let you hold that then.
Okay,
So just what,
thank
go
you.
stand next
Yeah,
to
just go stand next to Johnny there. And I'm going to pop off a picture real quickly. You may not have even seen the dots. And now we have you. And we can see that you are a three-dimensional character. And we gathered all that very, very quickly. And you can see we've got your black pants and your blue shirt. And we have all of Johnny Depp. So we can cover a very large area with very different colors. Get it all in one shot going very quickly, and that's, we think, a very unique capability of ours.
Okay, and so this is, I noticed that area was very large. This is
Yes.
what, about 6 to 8 feet?
About 7 feet, the circle. is about 7 feet.
Okay, so typically what you might do is if you were measuring like an aircraft fuselage, you would
Exactly.
just kind of hopscotch along?
Yes, something like that, or we can get further back because if it's lighter color, we can get further back as well.
Now this is, I noticed this on a tripod, but I've seen you also have handheld photogrammetry products as well. Is that?
Yes, we have one down here which shows our new equipment. This is our Dynamo camera, and the new thing we've done to the show this year is we now have wireless, and it's extremely high speed. You can see how quickly it's taking pictures there. And what we're doing, even in this crowded hall with a lot of Wi-Fi going on, is we're transmitting pictures as they're received to here. So these come in at about rate of 1 a second.
Okay.
So we can also do this in a multiple camera mode as well, but we're not set up for that.
Okay, so we've been looking at, these are all V-Stars products,
Yes,
is that
they
right?
are. Exactly.
Okay, well John, thanks for showing us around. Thanks a lot, enjoy the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we've taken a look at a couple companies that, a brand new company, an old company that have been with the CMSC for a long time. Now what we're going to go do is take a look at a fairly new project the CMSC has taken on, and that is to try to develop a metrology personal certification program. And here to tell us about that is Keith Bevan. Hey Keith, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the personal certification program and also what we're going to see here at the measurement zone.
Okay, in the measurement zone, what we've got here is we have 4 different areas that basically are covering off education that will contribute towards certification of portable metrologists.
Okay, and in the past, you guys have done some tests where you know that this is kind of important because in some of your earlier tests right here at the show, we discovered that people don't necessarily know how to measure, even though they may actually be measuring in the metrology field.
Exactly, yeah. What we've looked at is we wanted to look at everything associated with getting good practice, good measurements. So we actually look at the way people approach their measurement and how they prepare, how they look at the equipment, how they look at the environment, and then how they look at the design requirements and then go ahead and take some measurements. And then what do they do with the data afterwards? So that all of this will contribute to being a good certified portable metrologist.
And what do we have here in the zone?
So in the zone here, with the 4 zones, we have in zone 1 at the back here, we have an automobile that basically is a competition that's targeted at experienced users. So they're using laser trackers to do a specific task.
So basically you have a BMW here that you already know the nominals on the certain characteristics, and they're supposed to go in and measure that and see how close they actually are to what you guys know is the real answer.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a test for the guys and those that really believe they know what they're doing, and it's really, really interesting to see.
Have you collected data already?
Yeah, we have, but we can't obviously let that know at the moment.
Give away the content? Okay.
Give that away because it continues today.
Okay, what else we got?
So behind me is in zone 2 we have 2 portable arms where we've opened up an area for somebody who needs education that may be a complete beginner to measurement, so they can actually have a go with 2 arms using scanners, but they have to also look at the design requirements, the tolerances that are associated with it, because we want to sort of look at their metrology knowledge as well as their practical skills and give them some tasters of what is to come if they do go forward towards certification.
Okay. And right behind you, it looks like we've got some training. I see some tablets and so forth.
Yeah. So what we've done is put a little bit of a bit more online type knowledge equipment, and what we're looking for is for people to have a go at understanding things like metrology, uncertainty of measurement, dimensional measurement. So it's a way of them actually getting knowledge whilst they're at the show. So do a little bit of training, and they can come and sit, put headphones on, and learn.
Yeah, I saw quite a few people sitting there yesterday, actually sitting through the material. That's really encouraging, actually.
Yeah, the encouraging thing for us was we thought people may look for 10, 15 minutes. Some were staying an hour.
Yeah.
Hour and a half, which was really good. Really
and then I see we've got an area over here, Zone 4?
Yeah, Zone 4 is basically more like a forum area. So we've had the certification program. There's been question and answer sessions for people who want to know more about how they can partake in that scheme. We also have a laser tracker best practice workshop today. We also can do workshops on e-learning, or it can be used for general discussions as we're talking about all different aspects of education.
And just to wrap up here, what is the status of the CMSC's certification metrology certification? I think you call it personal metrology certification, right? Is that
That's
it?
right,
Okay.
that's right. So it's currently level 1 and level 2, so the knowledge and the practical are launched. We have the level 2 is targeted at the portable arms, so it's sort of something that as time goes by, we'll start introducing other pieces of equipment as we go along.
Okay. Well, Keith, thanks for showing us around the booth, and I'm looking forward to the certification program really taking off and really actually assisting industry, because we know that's all really required. So once again, we are at the Metrology Zone at CMSC 2014 in North Charleston, South Carolina. And hope you guys, if you're watching this show, be sure to come here every year. This is a fantastic show, particularly if you're doing large-scale 3D measurement or if you're interested in a personal metrology certification. It's amazing. I'm there and I'm here at the same time. Well, as we were talking about there, metrology certification is certainly becoming more and more a critical requirement in many industries, which is really why the whole certification program was started at the CMSC. And this is actually particularly true in aerospace and nuclear energy, where the risk of poorly aligned or poorly measured objects or subassemblies it can mean the difference literally between life and death. So what the CMSC is doing with the measurement zone and their education programs is all helping to be a key part of making metrology certification a reality. So once again, if you are interested in 3D metrology or 3D metrology certification, definitely go to cmsc.org. Well, that is it for this week. Next week we will have Mike Richman back. Yay! Hey Mike, just know that if you're looking at the moon, I'm looking at the same one. Just saying, buddy. All right, so that's it for today, and we will see you again next week. Also, we'll have a demo of actually a couple of Fluke products on Tech Corner, so if you're interested in Fluke and their products, be sure to tune in next week. And that's it. So long, and we will see you then.